Hello YouTubers and subscribers. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. The topic of today's video is something that I have thoroughly researched, investigated, and studied for over a year now. This subject or the idea of getting repregnant, a cryptic pregnancy miracle. It is often discussed or mentioned in the cryptic pregnancy community about becoming repregnant during your cryptic pregnancy. This is rumored to possibly happen at any time during your cryptic pregnancy. Many women active in the cryptic pregnancy community have openly admitted and discussed this happening to them once or twice or on many occasions with many different people. So let's discuss in detail what getting repregnant is exactly. The women who have reported this happening to them claim to be at least 12 months to 5 years cryptically pregnant prior to becoming repregnant. Often the reason they discover they are repregnant is because they start to test positive on urine tests at home, or they test positive in a blood test at the doctor's, and their pregnancy is eventually confirmed. But baby is always much smaller than expected. Had the woman actually conceived weeks, months, or even years prior. So let's give an example. A woman claims she's been cryptically pregnant for 18 months and then starts to test positive. This is exciting, so she decides to go to the doctor to confirm her pregnancy. There, her pregnancy is confirmed through urine test, and an ultrasound confirms that she's pregnant. She has a viable 8-week-old fetus in her uterus. But baby is measuring significantly smaller than one would predict. If she had actually been cryptically pregnant for 18 months, the baby should be much bigger than 8 weeks. So realistically, this means that the woman conceived about 2 months prior to the ultrasound results. So she conceived about 2 months prior to her getting an ultrasound and confirming her pregnancy at the doctor's. Better defined, she conceived this pregnancy at about 16 months cryptically pregnant. So when she thought she was 16 months cryptically pregnant, she actually conceived a viable pregnancy. So her definition of becoming repregnant is what one would call becoming pregnant. She's just thought she's been pregnant this whole time with a cryptic pregnancy. So to explain a little bit further, her cryptic pregnancy of 18 months was actually a phantom or false pregnancy that eventually resulted in a viable pregnancy during what she thought was a cryptic pregnancy during her 18th month cryptically pregnant. So she experienced a phantom or false pregnancy for 18 months and then started testing positive. Went to the doctor, and it was confirmed that she had a viable 8-week-old fetus living inside of her uterus, so she was confirmed pregnant. This tells us that she conceived her baby 2 months prior to that. The very word repregnant isn't even a real word. It's not in the dictionary. It's not any kind of medical terminology. And it is very different from superfetation, which is when a pregnant woman releases an egg a few weeks into her pregnancy. This second egg is then fertilized, and the woman is then pregnant with 2 babies simultaneously at different gestational ages. So let's say that this baby was conceived and it is 5-week-old, and this baby was conceived slightly or very shortly after that, and this is a 5-week-old gestation and this is a 4-week-old gestation, but they're both conceived within weeks of each other. Then we have superfecundation, which is when 2 eggs released during the same cycle are fertilized at separate times, but both are generally the same gestational age. So you have superfetation, where there are 2 gestational ages, and then you have superfecundation, where they are They're fertilized at different times, but they're the same gestational age. So the terminology repregnant used in the cryptic pregnancy community is said to happen several weeks, months, or even years after the initial conception. Repregnancy is nothing like the terminology superfetation or superfecundation and has no scientific or medical backing whatsoever. Getting what is said to be repregnant in the cryptic pregnancy community is just a misunderstanding. It's misinterpretation, misconception, and manipulation of how the woman's body works, functions before, during, and after pregnancy. When a woman becomes repregnant in the cryptic pregnancy community, it just means that she is now actually pregnant, when prior to this, she was most likely having a false or phantom pregnancy. She may say that her pregnancy finally turned normal, or that her doctor finally believed her, or that the doctor finally found the baby. But the truth is that when she thought she was cryptically pregnant, she was actually having a false pregnancy and eventually conceived a viable pregnancy, a brand new pregnancy. This is why when the baby is found during ultrasound and measured, it is measured much, much smaller than one would expect, and much, much smaller than it should be measuring during ultrasound. Not because it's growing slower, but because it didn't exist until just a few weeks prior. Even if the woman is fully convinced that she was pregnant this entire time, the weeks, the months, or even years before conceiving this repregnancy, the truth of the matter is that repregnancy doesn't exist. So I hope this video helps clarify some things for some women and answer some questions for some people who might have them. And if you have any further questions, please don't be afraid to leave them below in the comments, or you can email me. My email address is in the description of this video, or you can private message me through Facebook or Instagram. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be well, stay blessed. Bye.